Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Conway. So after we solve these basic two-step equations, we're going to do some linear equations with distribution. So let's call this step it up or add a step. We're just going to add one more step because you guys already know how to distribute. And you'll practice solving here. So we're going to add distribution. So the question you might get there is something like 3 times 5z plus 1 equals 33. And we're going to solve for z. Now with these, the first thing you want to do is, well, distribute. So step 1, we're going to distribute. And I want you to pay attention to what I'm doing here, because what I'm doing here is I'm doing my math over here and then I'm explaining it over on the right side. You will have to do this at some point in time this year. So if you wanted to practice on these, you could, but it's going to come. You'll have a test where you have to do this part. So I'm going to distribute 3 times 5z and 3 times 1. This is 15z plus 3 equals 33. Okay, now that I've distributed, I kind of want to check, is there any like terms I could combine? This one doesn't have any. There's no like terms on this one. So we're going to go right in. Now we basically just have a two-step equation, right? So now this looks just like the ones above. The z is on the left side this time. So I'm going to get rid of the, you always want to look, okay, here's my variable. So I get rid of the number being added on that side. So on this side it's adding 3, so I'm going to subtract 3. Or if this was subtract 3, I would add 3. What side is z on? Get rid of constant. So now we have 15z equals 30. And then really we're just going to have one more step here. This is just adding one step. So it goes from being a two-stepper to a three-stepper. And so now what we want to do is divide. So we're going to divide by the number in front of the variable, and that's called a coefficient, right? Because you guys all did your vocabulary. So z equals 30 divided by 15 is 2. Now this one we definitely want to check because we did a lot of steps. So we're going to come up here and we're going to use order of operations to check. So 5 times z is 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 times 3 is 33. So we did it right. And that's going to be the two type of problems you're going to have on your Delta Math assignment, and then you'll have some review. Just a quick little note for Delta Math. If you're working on Delta Math and you hadn't figured this out already, and this isn't going to work for all of your Delta Math assignments because it just depends on whether he even has the videos or not. But if there is a video available, then you can watch those videos. I went ahead and I enabled that as long as it's not a quiz. So right here where it says watch help video, you can click on that and it'll show you an example of how to do these kind of problems. You also have, if you get stuck within a problem set, the option of This one will show the solution because I'm not in assignment mode, but there's a button up here that would say show example. And I strongly recommend using the show example button if you get stuck. And it'll be a lot like this show solution, except that it'll have a different problem than the one you're working on. And if you use show example, it does not take away points or anything like that. So I strongly recommend using those buttons if you get stuck. So there we go. That's solving two-step equations plus equations with distribution. Good luck on your Delta Math assignment.